sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball from Great American Ballpark on the banks of the Ohio River on this September 11th, our country's annual day of remembrance for the tragic events in 2001 and for those who gave their lives in service on that day. Glad you're with us on this September 11th for Cardinal baseball. We'll switch to baseball. Al Raboski, I'm Rick Horton. This Cardinal team slumping a bit lately, Al, but let's perhaps give it some perspective.
Well, yeah, there's no doubt about it. They're going through a rough spell, and it's all because of the starting pitching. But I think you'll look and see 10 games, the last 10 games haven't been good. But if you look at the last 25, yeah, the winning percentage has slowed down. But since the All-Star break, one of the best records in all of baseball. Go through it now, and then you'll be fine. You'll have a couple weeks to recover and get everything back in line, and hopefully for postseason.
Getting ready for Game 2 of this 4-game series, Lackey and Lorenzen will pitch. The Cardinals and the Reds will play, and we will remember.
Elizabeth Ann Farmer.
Douglas John Farnham.
John Gerard Farrell.
Andrew G. Fletcher.
Carl M. Flickinger.
Matthew M. Flacco.
John Joseph Florio.
His 450-plus home run announced his return. Not as dramatic, but equally as important, Matt Adams in his first at-bat here last night in Cincinnati drove a ball into the right field corner. His teammates very happy to have Matt back. Matt Holliday also getting closer and closer, as is our first pitch here from Game 2 at Great American Ballpark on Fox Sports Midwest. And Jim Hayes, Game 2 of a 4-game series here in Cincinnati. The Cardinals dropped Game 1 here last night, 11-0. And they'll hope to get back on track behind John Lackey here tonight. Our first pitch is taking for a strike to Matt Carpenter.
Michael Lorenzen, another rookie. This is the 42nd consecutive time the Reds have started a rookie pitcher, and that's a new major league mark.
Late swing by Carpenter. Lorenzen, Al, having some struggles in the second half. He got off to a pretty good start, but has not had a good second half and tends to walk a lot of hitters. We'll see what happens here tonight.
Yeah, that's something that they sent him back to the minor leagues to work on his control.
Mike Matheny's Cardinals on his bench. You'll have Colton Long, who's very close to being ready to play, along with Stanley and Adams, Borges, Reynolds, Grichuk, Easley, Cosma, Cruz, and Tommy Pham. Change up, swung on and missed, and that's how this game starts. Matt Carpenter, a strikeout victim. Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. Make a plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Brings in Stephen Piscotty, swinging at the first pitch. He fouls that one off his foot. Piscotty has been a force in this Cardinals lineup, and he's kind of settled into that second spot.
Yeah, and you kind of think these two might have faced each other in collegiately, as Piscotty at Stanford. Lorenzen was at Cal State Fullerton, where he was an outfielder and closer. One of the reasons why he was one of the top picks of the Reds is because they thought he had a fresh arm. He just was a guy that would come in to close those games for Cal State Fullerton, so they didn't think he had a lot of innings piled up on that arm.
Hard hit up the middle, base hit for Piscotty. He's the Cardinals' first base runner. Lorenzen will have the following defense behind him, brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Duvall, Hamilton, and Bruce are in the outfield. Suarez and Phillips in the middle. Frazier and Votto at the corners. And the rookie, Cabrera, Ramon Cabrera, behind the plate. So rookie and rookie working together here in Game 2. Jason Hayward at 287. 11 homers, 51 RBIs. He's also stolen 21 bases. Played good defense, runs the bases well. He's been a pretty complete player for the Cardinals this season.
Lorenzen only made 49 minor league appearances before getting called up this year. He started at Louisville. You mentioned that he went back to the minor leagues in the second half because he really is pretty much just a thrower. You know, he's trying to learn the art of pitching. Ted Powers, former major league pitcher, is the pitching coach at Louisville, and I think he straightened him out a little bit, trying to get him to incorporate some of the secondary pitches instead of just trying to blow the fastball by people.
Ted Powers pitched in the big leagues with a lot of teams. One of those teams, the Cardinals. Hard hit up the middle. Shortstop Suarez can't handle it. So that'll be another base hit up the box. This time it's Jason Hayward. 2 hard hit balls.
2 hard hit balls, and you know, we think that Suarez is a little better defender than what he showed right here. The pitcher slowed it down, but then he gets by the shortstop, and easily, you know, the pitcher could have a little better fate. 2 of those balls could have been knocked down, but they are scored base hits, and rightfully so.
Johnny Peralta leads the Cardinals with 142 hits. Has shown power, but not lately. They're stuck at 16 home runs, has 60 RBIs. The Cardinals would love to get on the board first after getting shut out here last night. And boy, last night's game, Al, we don't want to talk about it too long. Just wasn't a good one. 11-0 Cincinnati. Cardinals were just outplayed. Simple as that.
And they really did not take advantage of John Lamb, who won his first major league game yesterday with 6 walks. They had base runners all over the place, but couldn't deliver that clutch hit.
Fastball in on the hands.
And that's one thing I think the Cardinals are going to look for. They always go up there looking fastball, but with a young pitcher like this, trying to incorporate the secondary pitches, but when he gets in a jam, he's going to revert back to number 1. And they said the velocity has steadily decreased as the season's gone along.
Scotty and Hayward, the runners. Cooler temperatures here for game 2, right around 65. We've had some rain in the area. Tarp was on when we came to the ballpark, and there's a threat of rain maybe an hour from now. It's supposed to be light rain, but so far so good. Starting on time.
Rick. There you see the Hyundai pitch arsenal for Lorenzen. A lot of fastballs we talked about. He's going to try and incorporate that slider and the changeup, curveball a little bit more. But this is kind of typical what you'll see. As you can see already, the pitch count starting to mount here, and nobody out. But he'll throw a lot of pitches, and that's why it's rarely he'll go beyond 5 innings. He did pitch one time against St. Louis, and he lost that ball game. 5 innings, 93 pitches.
Got beat by Waka in that game. Slow breaking pitch swung on and missed. So 2 strikeouts here in the first inning. He's really not a strikeout pitcher. His season high is just 6. Surprisingly, and he's done that just twice. Not a big number.
Well, and like I said, he's trying to incorporate these secondary pitches. And you see not a real tight dot on that breaking ball. So kind of a little bit loopy, but he got the job done in there against Peralta. I think Peralta, if you had a healthy Adams and Holiday in the middle of the order, Peralta would get you a little more time off.
Ground ball up the middle. Suarez has this one. Forces Hayward. And the Cardinals strand 2 here in the first. John Lackey to work when we get back. Bottom of the first, no score. Hamilton, the speedster, switch hitter, sighting player, and here's the rest of the Reds order. Behind him, it's Jay Bruce, then Joey Votto. Very good 1-2-3 lineup. Brandon Phillips in the cleanup spot, followed by Todd Frazier. Suarez, Duvall, Cabrera, and Lorenzen round out the lineup for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's bench looks like this. Barnhart caught yesterday. Pena is hurt. We won't see him. Bosch, Schumacher from the left side. DeJesus Jr., Bourgeois, Lamar, and Negron, who's also hurt. We won't see him.
Those numbers right there, the 11-9 record really doesn't reflect how good a season Lackey's had. 22 complete or quality starts this year. And he's gotten very little run support, so that's why 11 of those 22 quality starts he didn't earn a win.
And Lackey's first pitch right down central. A first pitch strike from John Lackey. Surprise, surprise. Take a look at our Hyundai pitch arsenal for the Cardinal veteran right-hander.
A lot of fastballs, but he's always going to be around the plate.
A bunt, you better hurry, and not in time. You wonder why Hamilton doesn't do this more.
That's it, and good hustle there by Garcia to back up the play, or Billy Hamilton would be in scoring position. He might be there very quickly anyway with his, 54 steals. Lackey gets it, gets away from Moss, but there's Garcia, the second baseman, backing up the play. He scored a base hit with his speed. It's hard to get him.
Might have been a close play had they connected on that throw, but Hamilton can put pressure on you, and the pressure is still there as he takes his lead. And there he goes. Molina to second, and not in time into center field. And John Jay pounces on it, but Hamilton advances to third. Well, he didn't take any time, did he?
No, he did not. You have to say that Lackey needed to pay a little more attention to him over there. Yachty had very little chance, and then Peralta couldn't knock the ball down. It's right there, and a whole lay by Johnny. But here he just takes off, steals his 55th bag. That leads the major leagues, and then goes on an error. And that's a tough error if it's given to the catcher, which it always will be.
Hamilton at third for Jay Bruce.
You know, that's one of my little pet peeves, is that ball going straight into center field. Why can he get up and go when a lot of times the center fielder does not react until after that ball gets by the infielders? And I was talking to Mike Matheny about it one time, and he said Jim Edmonds would never allow that to happen to me. He always made sure that he was moving as the throw was coming in. And the only time you get burned is if, you know, it's deflected left or right. But Jimmy took so much pride and appreciate, you know, the Gold Glove catcher Mike Matheny, that he always said, I don't want you to get that extra error or that extra base, allowing a guy to get up and go.
1-2 to Bruce. You almost have to assume that the ball's going to get thrown away on every throw, which
what's wrong with that?
Exactly. You don't expect it to, but you have to assume that.
You have to assume it. I mean, if Garcia didn't assume that ball was going to get away there, he never would have been backing up first base. So.
Absolutely. Good point. Ground ball right side. Moss has it.
Be careful.
Flips to Garcia. Big out perhaps there for John Lackey here in the first inning. Look at the defense behind the 36-year-old right-hander who's having a big season. Piscotty, Jay, and Hayward are in the outfield from left to right. Left side of the infield is Matt Carpenter and Johnny Peralta. He's been very steady. Garcia getting the start at second, Moss at first, and of course Yadier Molina behind the plate. Tough guy to pitch to here, Joey Votto.
And this is the toughest hitter for John Lackey. He's got the best numbers against Lackey, but you can say that about so many pitchers. So it wouldn't be the worst thing if you know, it's hard to get him to expand his zone. You just don't want to groove anything. If he can get himself out or expand his zone a little bit, something he rarely does.
You do worry about the home run potential of Votto. He's got 2 against Lackey, who's given up 17 on the season. And this is a home run ballpark. So he's going to be very careful, as he should, with the all-star first baseman Votto.
And the majority of those home runs that Lackey has given up have been on the road. It's very well at home and gives up few home runs. He's just an old pro that doesn't beat himself.
Missing way outside, trying to get Votto to bite. Not the kind of guy that will do that. Votto with 123 walks leads the National League. He is an on-base percentage machine. 3-1, and the breaking pitch is a strike. Votto a little surprised at that pitch.
You're right. I think he thought he'd just pitch around him, and kind of was a hanging breaking ball, but when you don't swing, it is a strike.
Now you're tempted to pitch to him.
Sometimes you get tricked yourself that way.
I'm thinking the same thing. Still be careful. The 3-2, a little bit low.
Set up off the plate and down and away a little bit. He's got that great eye. 124 walks, right? He's had at least 100 walks 3 times in his career. Club record's 135, and at this pace he'll break that one this year, his own record.
So the double play set up now with Brandon Phillips at the plate. Phillips has not hit Lackey as well, 4 for 20 with 4 strikeouts. Reds were able to turn a couple of double plays last night. The Cardinals hoping for one ground ball to first. The play comes home and not in time. A wide throw from Brandon Moss, and the Reds jump on top again, 1-0.
Not a smart play there. You're going towards left field. You have no chance to get Billy Hamilton on a throw, and luckily he didn't throw it away at the plate. You just have to concede it's not a double play ball. Try and get the out at second base, concede the run, but you don't get anybody here. He's going out there. Look at how awkward this throw is. Now he's not expecting it, but he gets to it. But with Billy Hamilton's speed, you have no chance.
Trying to do too much, perhaps.
That's it.
And Lackey will try to keep this from being a big inning. One of the things we have not talked about a lot, and nobody's hitting any panic button. I don't see one up here in our booth, Al. I don't think there's any panic button down there in the clubhouse. But along with the pitching, the Cardinals' defense has not been as good the last couple of weeks. We've seen some errors leading to extra runs. We've seen more wild pitches, pass balls, and the like. And I think defense matters, and it goes hand in hand with pitching.
Well, absolutely, because you can have, if you just play good solid defense, you can save that pitching staff when it does start going south a little bit. Lackey's last time he pitched well. He just was matched up against Garrett Cole. He went 7 1/3 innings, just gave up 3 runs and lost that one 3-1. But he's just a big old workhorse, and his innings pitched, he's up to 187 among the league leaders there. His ERA is good.
He's had good success against Frazier, who digs in, and late swing and a foul there. 1-2.
Now the breaking ball a little bit elevated. Lucky you get away with it. And Frazier, who has had a tough second half, is starting to come out of it and had a big game yesterday with his 32nd home run and 3 RBIs.
Lackey set, and he waves at a slider that was about a foot outside. Frazier could not keep his hands back. And let's take a look at Al's Toyota keys to the game.
Well, get the bats going. Obviously we've been in an offensive slump for most of the season. We got shut out for the 12th time last night. And also Lackey needs to stop the slight rotation slide. And he's the kind of guy that can do that. As we said, his last time out, he pitched well enough to win most games, but offense didn't give me runs. And be the veteran that he is and go ahead and set the tone for these young pitchers.
Slider misses to Eugenio Suarez. Suarez, a couple of hits here last night, has become the everyday Red shortstop. Cozart will be back next year, but there's thoughts that perhaps Suarez, a better bat, becoming a better fielder, so it may make Cozart expendable.
I don't know. I haven't asked you this, Ricky, but those first 2 hits by the Cardinals, I think Cozart, puts those in his pocket.
I would agree.
And they've got some offense here, so they can. And Cozart was hitting well before he got hurt for the year.
He was.
I think there's some talk about Suarez, because they like that bat, and moving him even to left field.
Maybe a better compromise.
Boy, if you're gonna hit well with one, you'd rather do it with the guys on base, wouldn't you? 3 for 9 with 3 RBIs against Lackey.
2 runners aboard now. Good pitch from Lackey. Good velocity there. This game starting similarly to last night. First 3 innings of the game, the Reds were leading 2-0, but we had a ton of base runners.
Base runners, missed opportunities. And I think, what you mentioned, we both thought that Moss was trying to do a little too much. And that's one of the traps that you can get yourself into. When you're in a slump like this, as a team, you try and do too much, and all you have, everybody will tell you, Mike and his coaches, is to say, stay within yourself. Don't try and do more than you're capable.
So if he gets an out there, inning's over.
Yeah.
Right now. Instead of the added pitch count and the added stress facing Suarez here. Again, you appreciate effort, but Cardinals just trying to find some way to get on top.
With Billy Hamilton on third base, the ball's got to be hit right at you.
He is fun to watch, isn't he?
It's exciting. I'd rather watch him sit on making a right turn back to the bench.
Right. Jammed there. And the force at second. So Lackey gets through the first inning, gives up a run, a walk, Cardinal error, and the Reds are on the board. Quality on MLB.TV Premium. Watch every out-of-market game live on more than 400 supported devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, widget, and more. Visit MLB.TV today. Moss, Garcia, and Jay for the Cardinals here in the second inning. Lorenzen struck out 2 Cardinals, gave up a couple of hits in the first. And the shift is on again for Moss, who's 0 for his last 17. When you're 0 for 17, they've got a shift like this. Do you just lay the bunt down?
I saw him do it on the homestand and got a base hit for him. So
not 3-0, of course. That's just as easy. Take the walk. Again, an issue for Lorenzen.
Got all 5 starters for the Reds are rookies. If they get Homer Bailey back next year, they'll have one veteran to kind of lead their way, but it's not ideal. And with the 42nd consecutive start by a rookie, the Reds now are the record holders in that department. They were tied yesterday with the 1902 St. Louis Cardinals. 41 consecutive starts by a rookie.
Hard hit up the middle, base hit for Garcia. He has really swung the bat well. 8 for 19 as a pinch hitter for Mike Matheny, and he sends Moss down to second base. So the Cardinals again threatening here in the second.
And Garcia, we were taught a little bit last night, has the ability to get on base, but He already leads the ball club in pinch hits, and he hasn't been here that long. Good to see John Jay back.
Interesting, Al, that you classify, I think correctly, Homer Bailey as a veteran, and he's only 28 years of age. Just funny in this game how you go from young guy to veteran in a hurry.
And by far.
Bailey, of course, known for his no-hitters, and he's had multiple injuries, but he also has a very nice contract. And maybe that's when you become a veteran, when all of a sudden you become independently wealthy.
Yeah, Danny is so good at spending other people's money, but
oh, isn't he though?
Oh yeah, and just never understood that $100 million contract that went to Homer Bailey. And since that time, he's been hurt an awful lot.
Jay trying to drive the ball the other way. Outfield very shallow, but it's a good outfield. Almost back to the backstop. Now that's a waste pitch that literally is a wasted pitch.
And it does nothing. I mean, it can't set up the next pitch. It's so bad. No purpose to it.
The idea is to create kind of an illusion for that next pitch. If you throw a pitch just up out of the zone or off the plate, you're changing the eye level, and then you're going to throw a complimentary pitch. But if it's way out of the zone, the hitter doesn't even follow it, doesn't even track it, just gives up on it. Yep. He knows it's a ball right away. 2-2 to Jay. Grounded to the right side. Votto to second base. Tough throw there past the runner Garcia, but he gets his man. John Jay reaches on the fielder's choice, and the Cardinals have runners at first and third. A little bit of a gamble there, wouldn't you say?
Well, I think Joey Votto's one of those guys, and he's a very good defensive first baseman, but he's not afraid to make a mistake. A lot of young players will never take that risk because they're afraid, what if? What if it goes into the outfield? What if I throw it away? You know, we got a tie ball game. But guys that are confident in their ability never think, what if? They just say, I'm going to get an out.
So contrast that to the risk that Brandon Moss took in the first inning. How is that different? The difference being it's Billy Hamilton and his speed?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thought process there was that Votto knew what he was going to do with the ball. And I think Moss maybe have forgot that it's Billy Hamilton over at third. What has happened to the lost art of bunting?
Well, you and I have wonderful debates about bunting because you think bunting's easy and I think it's hard. And it sure does look hard, doesn't it? Grounder to short. That's going to score a run. And that's better than a bunt.
Look at theirs. John Lackey driving in the first run of this series and tying this game up. It's his third RBI this year, his fifth RBI in his career. That's a case where you don't want to hit it too hard.
Exactly.
You hit it hard, they turn two. You hit it like that, you're guaranteed they can only get one, and you got to tie a score.
Matt Carpenter's job to drive in John Jay, give the Cardinals the lead. Matt struck out in the first inning and takes ball one. Really struck by how shallow Billy Hamilton plays in center field.
He has the wheels that he can get back there, but look at even our left fielder, Duvall. Playing awful shallow for a guy that's got 21 home runs, a career high. I believe that Billy can get back towards that wall. I'm not sure about Duvall.
The 2-0. Catches the outside corner, just barely 2-1. Or did it?
Close. Maybe that's what Mike Matheny down and away. So they had both outside and low. More barking from Mike.
In the center field, playing shallow and making the play is Billy Hamilton. Cardinals get on the board. 1-1. Cardinal players on the comeback trail. There's a good look at Adam Wainwright. And something tells me Jim Hayes might have more on number 50. Jim?
Yeah, Adam had some interesting things to say about the Cardinals' recent struggles. He told me, quote, "We're in a funk. I don't think there's anything wrong in acknowledging that we're in a funk." But at the same time, he said, there's no need to panic. As he told me, it's silly to think a team can go through an entire season without having a glitch. And he said, if you have to go through a funk, now is the time to do it. He told me, quote, you do it in October and you go home real quick. As for Waino throwing bullpens and doing a lot of baseball related activity, threw another bullpen today. He told me he's been doing conditioning drills. He's been throwing bullpens, but he still has a ways to go because there are some medical tests that are a hurdle he'll have to clear eventually, guys.
Thank you, Jim. So the wisdom of Wainwright, Al, as well as the medical report.
Well, I think it's appropriate for him to say those comments, maybe ease Cardinal Nation a little bit. And we haven't really talked about it, but I think you know, the days off for the young pitchers and the ankle injury to Lynn, you know, Walker, Martinez, and Lynn all had extended time off, and it didn't pay off the first time around, but I think it will. You know, banking some of those innings, getting that extra rest, and not riding them too hard right now. This is Duvall, who hit 30 home runs in the minor leagues. He was the principal. He and a young right-handed pitcher, Mia, came from San Francisco in the Marlin Bird team.
So he's a strikeout victim, and first pitch swinging is Ramon Cabrera. Cabrera got his first major league hit moments after Joey Votto slammed his helmet to the ground and got an early shower a couple of nights ago.
I inherited that 1-ball 2-strike count of Joey Votto's, and he picked up his first hit. Now, he was promoted in Louisville and expanded rosters on September 1st. It kind of tells you something. When you think about it, he was named the Mary E. Barney Award as the Bats, and that's the AAA Louisville Bats, most valuable player.
Lined into the right field corner. Is it fair? It is. So first big league hit a couple of nights ago, and first big league home run here tonight. Ramon Cabrera has given the Reds a 2-1 lead.
He hit 290 with just 2 home runs at AAA. He's tied for third in RBIs at 35, but now he's got a big league homer to his name. Just stays
Slider
inside.
up in the zone. You're right, just barely fair. And that's a nice moment for him. Brings in the pitcher Lorenzen, who swings the bat well, and I didn't even get that out of my mouth.
Well, we mentioned that he was an outfielder and closer at Cal State Fullerton. That's one of the best baseball collegiate programs, and so yeah, he can swing the bat a bit.
First time through the lineup. The Reds have 3 hits, a walk, and a couple of runs against John Lackey. 2-1 here in the second. Billy Hamilton, who had a bunt base hit, takes strike 1. Bunt hit, stolen base, error by Molina, and he eventually scored on an infield groundout.
One of the best pitchers in the game at getting first pitch strikes tonight, 8 of 10.
Curveball and a late swing. We've seen more curveballs in the early going from John Lackey. Our BJC Healthcare Difference Makers, you mentioned it, the first pitch strikes of Lackey, 3rd in all of Major League Baseball. Now the Reds batting average on first pitch strikes is just 22nd in all of baseball. 324 sounds good.
Yeah, but 22nd?
But it shows you how good teams hit on that first pitch. Ground ball to second, just get one, and he does. Get the speedster.
Well, you know, when it makes you think there that is it smart to throw first pitch strikes?
Well, be careful with him for sure.
Yeah. Bounces over there. Garcia coming in, hustling. And yeah, don't even think about that guy behind you. Keep Billy Hamilton off the bases.
We actually looked at the league wide average in a postgame show, Al, the other night on what teams hit at swinging at the first pitch. I know a number of Cardinal fans don't like it when Cardinals make out swinging at the first pitch, but the league-wide average is about 370. And if you take strike 1, then you go down to about 230. Long fly ball out off the bat of Jay Bruce. We've played 2. Cardinals trail by 1. Cardinals and McDonald's are teaming up to bring fans an extra value deal that can't be beat. Fans can purchase tickets for just $5 each to the Red Series September 21st through September 23rd. Tickets are on sale now at cardinals.com/McDonald's. Cardinals would like to get that run back. The Reds scored 1 in the first, 1 in the second, and lead by 1. It's Piscotty, Hayward, and Peralta for St. Louis. Piscotty and Hayward both with base hits in that Cardinal first, but were stranded. And the Cardinals hoping for an offensive breakout here against Lorenzen. Line drive to right. First pitch swinging. And Bruce has it. Out number 1. Considering that same tattoo, by the way, Al, that Lorenzen has on his left arm. I don't know if I can get a 2-for-1 deal. You in?
Nope. Nope.
Boy, you're no fun, Al. Of course, you know that that's the 116 Click group of rappers that include one of my favorites, Lecrae.
It's definitely no now.
I thought I would lure you in, and now you're going away from me. Oh well, I tried.
You know, Ricky, there's a lot of things that you and I just don't see eye to eye on, and one is your rapper.
Well,
I mean, to each their own.
You know, if we agreed on everything, Al, it would be boring, wouldn't it? That's part of, honestly, think about being in a clubhouse. How different players can be. Base hit to right field for Jason Hayward. He's 2 for 2. You have various personalities from different countries, and you just have to kind of learn to get along.
Ethnicity and just everything, and that's why it really is an interesting dynamics of clubhouse and clubhouse chemistry. I think it's more important today than ever before. I remember the Oakland Athletics of 72, 73, 74. Those guys were fighting every minute until a game started. And then once the game started, they got together and they
were teammates.
Well, they were more than that. They were world champions.
I think Billy Martin kind of liked that, don't you think? Maybe stirred the pot a little bit.
Yeah. But today, I think chemistry and character is maybe even more valuable than talent.
It's hard to have a conversation with a big league manager today, and we've had plenty of them this season where chemistry doesn't come up. And they're all numbers oriented. I mean, and they should be. The game is turned towards sabermetrics, I think, in a good way. And tendencies, and I mean, there are no secrets anymore. But one of the secrets maybe that is still out there is the personality of your team and how guys get along in the clubhouse. Line to right, and Bruce runs it down. Very good outfielder. And that's where your manager and your coaches really get the credit and earn their pay.
Well, you know, 30, 40 years ago, you never heard good teammate. You know, a manager would hire his drinking buddies. You didn't hire guys that go to work. You know, and I mean, there's always exceptions and everything. There's coaches always work to some degree, but not the time they put in today.
Ran into Jose Oquendo yesterday on the streets of Cincinnati. He was headed to the ballpark, and it was 10 o'clock in the morning.
Which is not uncommon.
That's how long their day is for a night game at 7.
First day in the series.
Jose, of course, first day in the series is right. He's trying to get his workouts in, and he's become a workout fiend again. Good for Jose. Broken bat, looped into center. That's going to drop, and there's Hayward taking third base. Love to see that. from Jason Hayward.
And one, he leads the club with his 21 steals, but it's also, he sees that little bloop. It's right in front of him. He can judge where that ball's going to fall and how far in front he's going to be with Billy Hamilton. And so you've got to take chances. Remember, you got a manager that says, hey, if you're going to make a mistake being aggressive. And I think this one's pretty easy. You can see that ball's getting down, and if you don't break stride, you don't look back, you just keep on moving forward, you can make it there easily.
Isn't that a great look at Hayward and what he did with his eyes? He looked at the ball, he looked at the center fielder Billy Hamilton, and then he put his head down and ran.
Made his judgment.
Yep. And he did that in a split second too. You don't have time to think about it, weigh it, mull it over, send it out to a committee, vote on it. If you don't know in a split second, you don't know. Hard hit, but foul.
And going back to anticipation. I'm sure Chris Maloney, when Hayward got to first base, was going over all from different scenarios. You're going to do this, you're going to do that. Don't get double up on a line drive. But if you've got any shot, you're going to end over at third base. You need to get that run back and more.
Molina running on the pitch.
He had a walking lead, and Lorenzen didn't pay any attention to him.
When you have those meetings at the beginning of the series, you don't really talk about Yadier Molina when you're talking about base stealing threats, and he knows that. So he'll pick his spots, put a little pressure on the other team.
I've said it a ton of times, but Joe Ferguson is a big outfielder slash catcher. Didn't have very good speed, a little better than Yadi's, but he felt that he could steal 10 bases every year just because pitchers would forget about it. To improve on that average, runners in scoring position.
Maybe here. Nope, not yet. He takes a called third strike. He thought that ball was up. Lorenzen, with his third strikeout, strands 2 more Cardinals. And we were concerned that, well, he'd maybe given up on his team, but we got a tweet today from his dad, and he said, hey, we had fun last night, and my son said, we'll go get him tomorrow, which I love that attitude, our young fan at the ballpark. And by the way, it's time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag MWDataStrongFan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Lance Lynn Delivers a fastball to Joey Votto. He's got the middle of the order for Cincinnati here in the bottom of the third.
And he's got this tough test right here with Joey Votto.
John Lackey delivers a fastball inside.
Votto 32 yesterday. He's hit safely in 12 of his last 13 games. 442, 3 doubles, 3 home runs, 9 RBIs, a .586 on base percentage.
And a late swing there. He's trying to put the ball in play, but Lackey picks up a strikeout, his third. Nice to get through Joey Votto, isn't it?
It sure is. But you got to have that same concentration. The next guy there has been a scoring change. Back in the first inning, originally it was an RBI and fielder's choice for Brandon Phillips. They changed that to a base hit, an RBI, and now it's an earned run. So Lackey's both runs are now earned against him tonight.
Brandon Phillips takes strike one.
Now, that's not the same young man.
No.
Because he's wearing a red shirt.
Yeah, he did not. Our friend did not change allegiances.
Yeah,
no.
he didn't get all excited because he was going to jump ship.
Into the right field corner. Hayward runs it down. 1 out double. And the second hit now for Brandon Phillips. Tomorrow, MLB on Fox returns as the National League Central leading Cardinals take on the Cincinnati Reds. Then the Tigers and the Indians square off in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 11:30 a.m. on Fox and 6 o'clock on Fox Sports 1. Streaming live as well on Fox Sports Go. Frazier jammed. A lot of first ball swinging today. Hayward gets it in. We're out number 2.
Well, we've always talked about that. Lackey is currently third in the National League in throwing first pitch strikes. I remember when he faced the Kansas City Royals, and it seemed like that was part of their game plan. They went after the first pitch, and they really hurt him swing at that first pitch. But you and I both know if you get a first ball fastball hitter up there, the best pitch to throw him is a first ball fastball. You can make it a little bit off the plate.
Part of the cat and mouse game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ground ball to third. Carpenter has it across the diamond. And a good inning for Lackey. Reds strand a runner, their fourth. We've played 3. 2-1 Cincinnati. at Phillips 66 with 8 gallons or more. That's now until September 24th, and receive up to 50% off on a pair of tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Phillips66. A lot of Cardinal fans on hand here tonight. Saw a lot of them walking around the streets of Cincinnati today, hoping to see their Cardinals get hot here in September baseball. 22 games left in the season, including tonight, the marathon that is a baseball season. And as Adam Wainwright told Jim Hayes, you're going to have some moments in that marathon where you're not as fast as other times. Well hit to center field. This is deep, and it's gone. How about that? Home run, Greg Garcia. He smoked that ball.
How about the fact he's 2 home runs with both been to center field, up on the grass in Busch Stadium against the Cubs, and right this one up on the grass of the batter's eye at the Great American Ballpark for his 2nd home run of the year. Greg Garcia is trying to make a statement, isn't he?
Loud and clear. Down and in, up and out. This one's hard hit, right center field. John Jay is headed towards second base, fumbling it around a bit in the outfield, so Jay's headed to third. Might be a play at third, and he is out at third.
Don't want to make the first out at third base, and Billy Hamilton, you could say that he won't get charged with an error, but it was the bobble. Watch the center fielder Hamilton misses it there, then they kick it, but Bruce has that strong arm, and John Jay made the decision to go to third, and it cost him.
Shouldn't Billy Hamilton get an assist on that? Think about it. He touched it, right?
Toe of his foot.
And they're making the announcement that is what happened. It went 8,
6, 5.
9, 6, 5. And this ball is driven down the left field line, and it's fair. Lackey rounding first base, and he'll be content with a single. So that.
How about the Cardinals now jumping on these first pitches?
They are. They are. The John Jay attempt to go to third, however, has cost the Cardinals a run here.
Yeah, I mean, I know Mike Matheny says you're going to make mistakes of aggression. He'll accept that, but I don't think so. You're trying to do too much, like you said, and you got to use a little better judgment, especially when you're talking about even Hamilton's arm is very good, but with Bruce, he definitely has one of the stronger throwing arms and better right fielders in the league.
I know not all fans will want to hear this, but the reality is that the judgment question is a lot more difficult for guys that haven't been playing a lot. The judgment in the outfield, the judgment in the infield on hops, the judgment when you're running bases. I mean, this is a game of timing, and it's not that they forget how to play completely, but there's a timing kind of factor that only comes from playing.
And I think in case where a guy like John Jay being injured so much, you want to do more, because you want to show people that, hey, I deserve more playing time. I'm getting healthier. So sometimes you will push it a little bit more than you would if you're playing every day. And of course, if he's safe, we all say, "Whoa, what a great, great move."
Another base hit to right field this time. So Matt Carpenter gets the Cardinals' 4th straight hit of the inning. Keep that line moving.
Carpenter just rifles that ball into right field. He's 1 for 3 tonight. It's his 2nd hit in 5 plate appearances against Lorenzen.
When is the last time, Al, let me ask you this question, that Stephen Piscotty came to the plate and you didn't feel confident that he was going to get a hit?
Might have been those first 2 games in San Diego. Since that time, remember the Sunday he had his first multi-home run game and 5 RBIs.
He's just so comfortable at the plate, isn't he? I love his balance.
You can see it's almost the mindset of both hitting coaches. They're saying the Reds and the Cardinals go up there on that first pitch. They're going to try and get ahead in the count, especially these young pitchers that have a tendency to throw a lot of pitches, and if their pitch count goes up, jump on the first one.
Garcia's home run, by the way, the solo shot, 396 feet to straightaway center field. Cardinals want more. Piscotty at the plate, the 1-1. Line to Votto, and Lackey's going to be doubled up. He thought that ball was going into right field. And a tough break for the Cardinals here. That's how the 4th inning ends. But Greg Garcia gave that ball a ride, a long ride, and is tying it up here in Cincinnati. For 2, including a solo home run in the 4th inning. Good to see that. It was also good to see Matt Adams with a base hit late in our game yesterday. With more on that, let's go to Jim Hayes.
Not many bright spots last night, Rick, but Adams certainly was one of them. He made his return after a surgical quad had kept him on the DL since May 26. Adams came into the game on the 9th as a pinch hitter, looped a single to right. He said he told Bill Miller in the batting cage while getting loose he felt like he was getting for opening day again. Adams said there were definitely butterflies. He said the best part, after he was pinch run for, when he got back to the dugout, the whole team was there to greet him. And Rick, a rough game like that, all his teammates showing support. Adams said that meant a lot to him.
Yeah, wasn't that great, Jim? I mean, the way he just kind of got that round of applause, a lot of high fives. And you think about the score at the time, it would have been kind of understandable that maybe his teammates would have missed that, but they were just happy to greet him, weren't they?
Yeah, no question. I mean, I was down there and I saw exactly what was going on. They were waiting for him when they got there, showing support. It had been a long road back for Adams, and again, that lopsided game, but they wanted to let him know they were behind him, right?
Appreciate it, Jim, very much. Lackey retires Duvall. 1 out in the 4th inning. And Al, I've noticed something else. I notice every time that, it used to be Waka was the one that brought rain. Now that when we send it down to Jim for a report, it seems like that causes it to start raining.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard for us to see any rain as we're looking out towards the field, but they showed a shot in between innings of some fans, and it looked like it was raining really hard. So I don't think it's going to be enough to really stop the game. And let's just keep on going. But going back to the Adams.
2 ground ball outs.
I think it was just, that game was, we always knew what it was going to be a Cardinal loss. It was 11-0. You see that, and you know it's not your day. But the Cardinals saw that some of their big guns are coming back. We saw Grichuk hit the home run in his first pinch hitting. John Jay starting to hit a little bit now, getting his timing back. Matt Holliday, everybody looking forward to that day. So this team has had to survive without some of their biggest bats, and the offense has suffered. And I think that's what's so happy for the guys, to see the guys coming back.
As you project forward, and we've talked about this some, it projects to have a stronger Cardinal bench down the road. Not just a stronger starting group, but a stronger bench and perhaps a stronger roster for postseason.
And there are going to be situations where some guys are rooting for guys that are going to take their jobs and knock them off the roster in postseason. But that's, once again, you get back to that team chemistry. You get back to that we're a team and not an individual.
So they'll be rooting for guys to take their jobs and win them rings.
Good way to look at it. We kind of look at it that way, no?
Oh, yeah. Why not? Yes, we are fortunate enough that when the Cardinals win pennants in World Series, they've been kind enough to gift us with rings so we can show Cardinal fans when we're out in various places in Cardinals Nation, and quite an honor. Late swing, a strikeout, and a good inning for John Lackey facing the bottom of the order. It'll be the middle of the order for the Cardinals. Hayward, Peralta, Molina. On that Pirates game, the Pirates have dropped 7 straight to the Brewers. This day, by the way, a very important day in Cincinnati. This is a day that Pete Rose passed Ty Cobb for the most hits in Major League Baseball history. This came off of Eric Schau. It was on this date in Reds history. And the all-time base hits leader with 4,192, Pete Rose. It'll be his bobblehead night here at the ballpark tomorrow. And if you're a Red fan, you certainly remember that moment. Really a fan of baseball, you remember that moment. His last 50 hits, Al, they kept throwing the baseballs out. for each one of his last 50. They were going to auction them off. They were going to save them for Cooperstown. I'm not sure what they were doing with it. But every baseball that he got, his last 50 hits, they kept throwing it out. And I remember, I believe it was Ken Daly told me he gave up 3 hits in one game to him, and he was tired of them taking the balls away from him. Just didn't seem right. Hayward bounces out. Cooper Tires is proud to present Fireworks Night. That'll be on Friday, September 25th. The Cardinals will take on the Brewers that night. You can stay in your seats after the game to watch a dazzling fireworks display with the Gateway Arch as the backdrop. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
Well, for our young viewers, we try to talk about Pete Rose, an all-time hit leader, but if you were to grade him out on running speed, on throwing ability, you know, he's average or below average in every category. But the one thing that he excelled at was, you know, hustle. Charlie Hustle got that name, and rightfully so. He made himself a great hitter. Didn't have power. You know, when you had the big red machine, you really didn't worry that much about Pete because he was only going to get a single. But you had to worry about Bench, Perez, and, you know, guys like that. You know, and then Foster, guys that could drive the ball and hit it out of the ballpark.
Certainly a table setter for those guys, but you're not exaggerating about that. People, I think, remember Pete Rose. No, I mean his speed was clearly below average, as was his defense and his arm. He had a hard time throwing. He played second. He played first.
Played the outfield, but he played so deep that he never got close to.
But he wasn't clearly was not a defensive player.
No,
but he could flat out hit.
But he made himself a great hitter and a great competitor.
Peralta strikes out. 2 quick outs in the Cardinals' fifth. Game settling into a good game here. Off-speed pitch from Lorenzen.
Good movement on that delivery. And Lackey had a good last half inning. Lorenzo trying to match it.
Stacks out in right center field have 14 bats in honor of Pete Rose. His impact here is tremendous. Of course, many local fans would love to see him in baseball's Hall of Fame. But there's the tribute to Pete Rose.
And of course, a great trivia question. What Cardinal player was traded straight up for Pete Rose?
Oh, me. I know, me.
I know it. I gave you the question.
I don't have to raise my hand.
A good friend of ours.
Yeah, you bet.
And give the answer.
I'll give you a hint. He was a major league manager last year.
That'll throw him up.
An interim manager for the Houston Astros. Did a great job, in fact.
Yes, he did.
Still in that organization. And then here's a better hint. He did a bat flip in the 1987 World Series.
Off of Frank Loyola. 3-run home run, right?
And it was about 331 feet over the 330 foot sign, and he flipped his bat. And we're talking about, of course, Tom Wallace, who was traded straight up for Pete Rose.
And of course, if you know Tom Wallace, his answer, why did you throw that flip like that when the ball was a foot over the fence? He goes, when you hit as many as I've hit, you know when they're gone.
I guess. 82 pitches for Lorenzen. Lackey has settled down on the Cardinals side. Lorenzen gave up the home run to Garcia in the fourth. 2 quick outs, then a 2-out single by Molina. He's the runner at first, short lead.
Ricky, I think there's a great example of Tom Wallace in that 87 season. And you know how you say everybody on a team contributes. Maybe he was the last player in the baseball to get a hit that year. But he had a defined role with that ball club and was very integral in that clubhouse.
And the role got bigger when players started getting injured.
Sure. One of his favorites was getting on the opposing pitcher, right?
He was All-American at that. And I mean, in fact, when he was a Reds minor leaguer and we were playing in Louisville, not far from here, against Tom Lawless, we did not like that man until he became a Cardinal, and we loved him. Another strikeout for Lorenzen. With a ticket will receive a one-of-a-kind Lance Berkman bobblehead as part of the Alumni Bobblehead Series, courtesy of Coca-Cola and Deerbergs. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions.
That kid's ready.
And so is Billy Hamilton. Carpenter in on the grass at third to take the bunt away. Line drive, left field line. This is a problem. It's down into the corner. Piscotty runs it down. Hamilton thinking about three, but he's content with a leadoff double. That man is electric. If he could hit a little better, we'd be talking about an all-star. Arcia in the driver's seat is Billy Hamilton, stolen base leader in the National League with 55, including one here today. D. Gordon hot on his trail. Charlie Blackmon, A.J. Pollock, and Starling Marte all in the top 5. By the way, Jason Hayward not far off the top 5.
And with his 21.
Much nicer crowd here tonight than we had in game 1. Friday night, weekend now with school in session, probably part of that.
I think it probably helped a little bit having that convincing victory last night. And of course, the Cardinals, probably more Cardinal fans here for this weekend series now too.
2-1. And this will be a very telling inning for John Lackey, won't it?
And Lackey retired 5 in a row before the Hamilton double on the first pitch.
Hard hit to center field. Jay on the move and makes the play. Hamilton tags. He'll make it to third easily, but the Cardinals will take the out. You can imagine if Lackey's able to get through this 5th inning and get through Bruce, Votto, Hamilton, Phillips, that maybe you can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel on a good outing.
Yeah, and I think you're always talking about Lackey. You know, you're always thinking he's going to go at least 6. And I agree with this move right here. Set up the double play. Second walk. This one intentional, as they had 125 walks on the year now.
You say it's possible, Al, that the Cardinals, when they were kind of picking at Votto, they ended up walking him. Similar situation in the first inning. It's part of the difference is you don't want to give up too many base runners in the first inning of a game. But now that it's 2-2 in the 5th, you just don't want Votto to be
right. And as we said, you know, he's had a little success against Lackey, and you have to pay the respect for a former MVP of the National League and the guy that's the hottest hitter, or as hot as any hitter in the National League right now.
Speaking of hot, Brandon Phillips hot tonight. Infield hit. Go along with a double. Phillips homered in his last at bat last night. Sacrifice fly the at bat before that, so he's been productive. Popped up. Will it stay in play? Moss comes over and it makes the play. What a play by Brandon Moss. Outstanding on the railing of the Reds dugout. That's a big out.
Well, there's another pitch that they go after the first one, but Lackey made it in a good spot. Gets that pop up in the infield. Moss does a nice job reaching over into the home dugout, snares it, gets it back in, and you can see Phillips really upset missing that opportunity with a runner at the first and third. Still got to get Frazier out. He is 2 for 16 off of Lackey. So make a good pitch and you probably get him.
Tries to bunt. They didn't try to pick off Hamilton at third. And actually needed an appeal to convince the home plate umpire. That's Jim Joyce, the first base umpire, who says that he did go for that bunt. So it's strike one. Thought that was clear, but the home plate umpire missed it.
I kind of think he fell across the plate and maybe screened the umpire, but obviously he's just attempting this bunt. That kind of give you an idea too that Frazier, what he thinks about his chances against Lackey.
There goes the runner. Yachty doesn't throw.
And you could see right there that they really tried to get, Votto was trying to get in a rundown, see if they could steal a run with the speed of Hamilton at third. But the Cardinals did not bite. You still got to get Frazier out, so they did the right thing there.
You throw the ball down to second base, there's no way you get Hamilton back at home.
No, and if you get him in a rundown or whatever, one of the things he was attempting to do, Hamilton scores.
0-2. That's the good news. They got ahead of Frazier, who tried to bunt. Then he took the pitch on the steal. Now he's going to have to hit down in the count. 0 for 2 here tonight. As you mentioned, he's not hit Lackey well. A strikeout and a fly out so far in this game. We have had 16 hits in this game. A lot of hits through 4+ innings.
Now look at those 8 and 9 innings, third and fourth innings, 8 and 9 pitches. He can have some real quick innings. And I like that move of Molina going out and making sure they're on the same page right here.
Slider down and away off the plate.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, make sure you get there. Probably a little more better than they wanted to.
This time Frazier lays off. Well, the tricky part for Frazier, if he looks for that slider down and away, he might get jammed with the fastball in. That is what makes hitting difficult.
Yep. Get him thinking away, and then they jam themselves on an inside pitch.
2-2 the count, and the pitch. A slider swung on and missed. Lackey strikes out Frazier, who slams his bat to the ground. Nice job of pitching there by John Lackey to get through 5. Cardinals 2, Reds 2, top of the 6th inning. And it's time for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. And we're going to focus on Greg Garcia. And this is what he did in the 4th inning. A long home run to center field. His second home run as a Cardinal tied this game. And he will lead it off for St. Louis in the 6th. It'll be 7, 8, 9 for the Cardinals. And the reliever is the left-hander. Came over from the Kansas City Royals, Brandon Finnegan.
Yeah, Brandon Finnegan. This will be his first time he's pitched for the Reds since his promotion from Louisville on Tuesday. He was acquired in the Johnny Cueto deal along with John Lamb, last night's starter and winner. Also another lefty, Cody Reed. So Finnegan has not pitched. Remember, he burst onto the scene last year. He was the Kansas City's top draft pick last season, selected 17th pick overall, and found himself pitching in the big leagues, pitching in the World Series.
One pitch, one out. Chevy called to the bullpen. There's the numbers of Finnegan. Good ERA.
Those are the numbers in the American League.
This is high to John Jay.
We know that 296 and 14th relief appearances for the Royals. At AA Northwest Arkansas and AAA Omaha and Louisville, he went 0-6, 5.65 in 15 starts, 4 relief appearances, including 0-3 and a 6.23 ERA for AAA Louisville.
Made the comment when they just called him up from the minor leagues. He was surprised they did. Of course, a big part of that trade, I think the Reds have to see what they've got in Finnegan.
Remember, he was promoted last September and became just the 3rd Royal draft pick to debut in the same season. And he was selected, joined Bo Jackson and Jeff Granger. Seven postseason relief appearances for Kansas City last year, the American League Championship Series, and the run to the World Series.
He was lights out.
Yeah.
Right out of college.
Right out of college. And
final exams, and then you get to the playoffs. How about that?
But apparently reality set in this year. He has pitched well even in the big leagues this year, but got to the minor leagues and found out maybe he's not suited for starting.
It's what he wants to do. And you think about a young guy coming out of college. You kind of got your mindset. You're a big draft choice. You think you know better, and sometimes you got to have a coach or a series of coaches help you figure out what your best role might be. Well, you look pretty good out of the bullpen a year ago, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you could want to be a starter, but if you can't get second or third time through the order, it's pretty tough to do it. And you look at Lorenzen, the starter today. He goes 5 innings once again because that pitch count gets high. He's lucky allowing 10 hits that he only gave up the 2 runs, and he got a no decision.
We haven't mentioned, Al, but what a wonderful job with our national anthem today here at Great American Ballpark. They brought out a huge flag that covered center field, and we had the 82nd Airborne Choir sing our national anthem on this September 11th. It was a very meaningful moment here at the ballpark. It will be seen tomorrow at 12 o'clock on Fox. What's on Tap brought to you by Budweiser. DeSclafani and Lynn, the starting pitchers in Game 3. Derek Lilliquist has to be happy with what he's seen tonight from his starting pitcher, John Lackey. He's back out for the 6th inning, a 2-2 game. And the Cardinals have had a lot of close games now. This would be a nice one to win.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be another close game, but you know, Lackey's got 22 quality starts this year and 28 starts. 11 of those 22 starts he didn't earn a win due to very little run support. So let's try and get him a win in this one, pick up his 12th win of the year.
Eugenio Suarez. Al has been practicing all night how to say his name. How do we say it, Al?
Eugenio Suarez.
Perfect. Or A- at least.
For a guy that got straight A's, I'll accept it. You know, A-.
0 for 2 against Lackey. He's bounced out twice. Lackey got through the 5th inning, got through the tough part of this Reds order. Bruce, Votto, Phillips, and Frazier. Now he's got the bottom of the order. But Suarez has swung the bat well. You talked about him maybe being a left fielder of the future for Cincinnati. He's got some pop. Big swing there. He fouls it back.
And he's debuted on June 11th. And he's got 11 home runs.
The 2-2.
Got to get the first man here. I like this pitch here, especially if you can get him out on the next one. But we'll just set up, pitch off the plate.
Lackey has walked 2. One of them intentionally. Both times it was Joey Votto, not surprisingly.
Carpenter guarding the line here, and Piscotty. The outfield, they kind of shift him a little bit to the opposite field. Piscotty way off the left field line with Carpenter guarding the left field line.
Payoff pitch to Suarez. We'll do it again. Cardinals have 22 games left in the season, as we mentioned, 19 of them in the Central Division.
And the only games outside are the final 3 games in Atlanta.
Swing and a miss. He gets out Suarez to start the bottom of the 6th inning. That's 6 strikeouts for John Lackey.
And Lackey's always going to give you that chance that he's going to get a complete game, or excuse me, quality start, because he's going to give you that 6 innings every time out, not more. Pitch to the top of strike zone, get a lot of swing and misses there.
Left fielder is Adam Duvall. As you mentioned, a year ago he was a member of the San Francisco Giants. Came up late in the season, hit a few home runs for them to have a season total, including the minor leagues, of 30. Second time he had 30 home runs in a season as a professional. Hit just 192 for the Giants last year, but very, very high on this 26-year-old outfielder, power hitter, Adam Duvall.
Well, you know, he gets underneath this. He's got that kind of loopy swing. He got his first home run off of Mike Leake last season. And then this year he got traded from Mike Leake. He went down to Louisville. He's from that area. And he hit a home run in his first plate appearance for the Louisville Bats. He came up here the other night. His first plate appearance for the Reds. He hit a hit a home run off of Jason Grimm. And he's still trying to get another home run. But it's what his game is. He just swings a lot of power and misses.
That last at bat he had home run distance. Unfortunately, it was all straight up. That ball was sky high. Ramon Cabrera homered in the second. So unlikely home runs in this game. Ramon Cabrera, his first major league home run, gave the Reds a 2-1 lead. Then you would guess what Cardinal would hit a home run to tie it up. You'd guess a long time before you got to Greg Garcia. But there's your score, 2-2.
Like I said, Cabrera only had 2 home runs this year at AAA. So a bit surprising. Switch hitter listed at 5'8", 195.
Talked about his first major league hit against Pittsburgh and reminded of the Pirates game last night. For those who didn't see the end of it, it was an extra inning Pirates loss, and the Brewers picked up their 7th straight win against the Pirates, and the closer for that game was Kyle Loesch.
Kyle Loesch saved it for K-Rod, who gave up a home run to Polanco to blow a save.
Strikeout number 7. We go to the 7th. Just for you. Now with the StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams and artists and discover new ones too. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the St. Louis Cardinals. More Cardinal fans on hand here tonight. As you mentioned, Al, enjoying a very good game. 2-2, top of the 7th. Carpenter, Piscotty, and Hayward. 1-2-3 in the Cardinals order to face Brandon Finnegan, who's back out for his 2nd inning of work. You talked last night, Johnny Cueto has not pitched very well for Kansas City, and the Reds got 3 big arms in that trade, and we'll see in the long term how that trade works out for Cincinnati. Breaking pitch high. And it is the 7th inning, so it is our Honda home run inning. Who will it be? Carpenter? Piscotty? Hayward? The Gateway Honda home run inning. A Cardinal hits a home run in this inning. Gateway Honda dealers will donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I think long run, the trade has to favor the Reds. And Cueto's a potential free agent, and if they don't sign him, and based on what he's done with them with an ERA over 7, I don't know if they want to. But he could be losing a lot of money. But you got to think these 3 young left-handers are going to be around for a while, and so it should favor the Reds. But
we also know how good Cueto can be, and if he ever figures it out, and maybe you think maybe learning a new catcher, learning a new team system.
I wouldn't think so. You know, I mean, got 2 Latin players, pitcher and catcher. Salvador Perez is, you know, ranked as an outstanding catcher. You know, they think of him in the American League like we think of Yadier Molina in the National League. So you'd think they would be able to communicate, be on the same page. I think when you watch Finnegan here, I could see why he'd have more success as a reliever, just with his motions. A little deceptive, hides the ball well, and you know, if you're only facing him 1 time a night, you may not be able to pick that up. But if you start facing 3 or 4 times in a game, you know, that deception probably doesn't hold true.
3-2 to Carpenter. Cardinals want a base runner. Swing and a miss. Fastball down and in. Carpenter strikes out for the 2nd time, and that's how the top of the 7th starts. So Finnegan's looked good. He has retired all 4 Cardinals, including Matt Carpenter.
That's the 2nd strikeout tonight. That's 129 strikeouts now for Matt Carpenter.
Leads the team in that department. Also leads the team in doubles, runs scored, home runs, RBIs. Good changeup there from the left-hander. Two to Piscotty.
Base hit his first time up, lined out to right field, and then he hit into that line drive to Votto, and they doubled off Lackey off his 2nd. So he hit the ball well tonight.
Swing and a miss. 3 off-speed pitches. Back-to-back strikeouts for Finnegan.
A lot of arms and legs kind of jumping at you, and then you expect that ball to come in there just as hard as his motion, or as wild as his motion, and then when you throw the off-speed pitch, keep it down and in, that backdoor or that slider in your back foot.
It seemed like his slider was sharper and better to the right-handers that we've seen him pitch to than to the left-hander Carpenter. Kind of a little more rounded to Matt, the 2 that he threw. But those last couple of pitches to Piscotty, hard to hit.
Yes.
There's a good sharp slider. 0-2. Finnegan looks good. The Hyundai pitch arsenal: sinker, slider, 4-seamer, change, and curve. The 0-2. Ground ball. Suarez has it, and the Cardinals are retired. And during our 7th inning stretch, we're going to say here for God Bless America on this day of remembrance. Let's turn it over to the Reds public address announcer. That's Joe Zerhusen.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please stand, kindly remove your hats, and face the American flag. Major League Baseball, the Reds and the Cardinals salute the men and women of our armed forces, as well as those who serve to protect in our local police and fire departments. At this time, please help us honor these brave men and women and all our veterans of service as we celebrate and honor Patriot Day in America with McKinney Medley singing the God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
The Cardinals have out-hit the Reds 10-6. We had a wonderful rendition of God Bless America on this day of remembrance. And it's back to baseball, and Skip Schumacher, the pinch hitter, who has been terrific for Brian Price this season.
He leads all major league pinch hitters in plate appearance, hits, doubles. He picked up his 6th double as a pinch hitter last night's ball game. You won't find a better teammate than Skip Schumacher, and we're really happy for his success.
Another curveball from Lackey, misses, 1-1.
Still very respected in the Cardinal dugout is Skip.
Saw Adam Wainwright and Jaime Garcia over chatting with him today, and all the guys that played together with Skip, they can't wait to say hello to him. Late swing and a miss.
That goes for us.
I agree. We feel the same way. Our DraftKings players to watch: Greinke, Arrieta, Kershaw. We're talking about quality starts. And those three, by the way, all in the running for the Cy Young. But you put John Lackey up there in terms of quality starts as well as innings pitched. These four lead the National League in innings pitched.
Yeah, and it should be he's qualified for another quality start tonight. In his 7th inning of work, 6 1/3, just allowed 2 earned runs, and those came early in the 1st and 2nd inning.
Good location there from Lackey and on the hands of Hamilton. And what the Cardinals hope is it stays a quality start for John Lackey.
And hopefully stays quality start and a victory. You see the American flag on the side. You know, these are special commemorative hats, and the proceeds will be, of the sale of these hats will be donated to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum, the Pentagon Memorial, and Flight 93 Memorial. And along with special lineup cards and base jewels. So baseball trying to do their part, and definitely baseball was a big part of healing after 9/11. And don't forget Jack Buck and his wonderful poem.
Very meaningful, no question about it.
Set up outside. Breaking ball stays up and a little bit wide.
Billy Hamilton lines it up the middle.
Don't you tell me Billy Hamilton was thinking about giving up switch hitting?
I did.
Just wanted to hit right-handed?
I did.
Well, that was before 3 hits tonight, left-handed.
I'm guessing he won't.
But remember, he got a base, you know, a bunt. Here he's slapping down on the ball, and that's really what he has to do. And he doubled into the left field corner. So a quality start, and maybe the lead is in jeopardy once he gets there with 1 out.
Didn't waste any time in the first inning. He went on the first pitch. 1 out. Jay Bruce at the plate. Not going this time. Swing and a miss on an off-speed delivery.
I think Lackey's going to pay a little more attention to him, but you also can't forget about that hitter. Some pitchers make that mistake. They worry so much about a base runner, they split their concentration and make a poor pitch to the plate. Lackey's too smart for that.
It's Hamilton and Molina again. Oh and 2.
Breaking ball coming in, and then he throws that pitch away, fading away.
Not a very good swing from Jay Bruce, who's 0 for 3.
They've said that, you know, he's been really struggling with his trying to. Always hear about repeatable delivery, but the same thing with the swing. You know, trying to keep his swing under control.
There goes Hamilton, swing and a miss, down to second base, and goes into center field again. Peralta can't dig it out of the dirt. The low throw might have had him had he been able to come up with that.
I love Johnny Peralta, but that's twice today. You know, you've got to know if you can't pick that ball, you got to block it. You can't let, you know, forget about trying to get him out. You got to knock that ball down. You cannot afford to let him get up and go to third base.
So again, the Cardinals will walk Joey Votto, and again, Yadier Molina charged with an error, allowing Hamilton to go from second to third.
Well, that one wasn't Jay's fault, because that ball didn't get far enough away to where, you know, second baseman Garcia had to track it down. But, you know, Johnny got to knock those balls down.
Wasn't able to do it either time. Really, it's not a bad throw. Catchers are tall.
No, you know, I mean,
you're going to throw it low. You want it to be low to the bag anyway, and a short hop, you expect it to be handled. And unfortunately, Johnny couldn't come up with that one or the one in the first inning. So the Reds threatening. Let's look at that throw one more time. You're trying to throw the ball low. You've got to be quick with it.
As short hop Peralta, but you know, sometimes you got to go ahead and just concede the stolen base and just whether use your body or whatever. You cannot let that ball get away from you. Forget about, you know, it's bad enough that Yachty, 7-time Gold Glover and Platinum winner, gets charged with another error, but you know, that could be the difference in a ball game too.
We shall see. Phillips at the plate. There goes Votto again, trying to draw a throw. Cardinals uninterested. He was running slowly on purpose.
We got 4 stolen bases tonight for the Reds. 2 for Hamilton and 2 for Votto.
Key at bat in this game here. Swing and a miss.
There you see a good tight slider off the plate. Lackey struck out 9 in this game, and he's had some stressful innings, but the old veteran is out there and battling.
This will be the last inning probably for John Lackey. He'd like to make it a good one. The 0-2 pitch, check swing. Didn't go, says Jim Joyce.
109 pitches. You're absolutely right. And we'll talk with Molina. First base is open and you got Frazier on deck, so I think this is something what they're both talking about. And it looked like Lackey called out Molina, but they're going to go over very carefully what they want to do right here.
Ahead in the count, 1-2 to Brandon Phillips.
He's going to have to, in my mind, he's going to have to, get himself out on a pitch that's off the plate.
Which he might do.
Right.
Phillips is 2 for 3. Frazier's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Key moment in this game. Either a good day for John Lackey or a bad day. In the pitch, swung on and fouled back. Late cut there.
Yeah. More of the plate than I think we were thinking, but got away with it, fouled it back. And with that pitch inside, does that set up the outside part of the plate again for that slider? Or sometimes you don't want fastball up and try and get him to chase it.
1-2 to Phillips. 2 runners aboard. Swung on, fouled off. So the work for Lackey not done yet. Cardinals are playing and Phillips shaded to hit the ball to right in the outfield, straight up on the infield. Carpenter a little close to the line at third. Key moment.
Rick, with what Lackey's done this year, and I know the Cardinals love a lot of their young pitching, but it sure seems like it would be the right thing to do to bring him back. Reward him for what he's done this year.
Check swing. Did he go? Yeah, he did. Lackey strikes out Brandon Phillips with 2 runners aboard. So it's a good night for John Lackey. Manager's happy too. Two is our score, top of the 8th inning. And it's time for our Bomberito Sports Update. Let's head to Pat Paris in our studio. Thanks, Pat, for the update. Again, the rain continues to fall. Time for our Mazda game summary. 2 runs on 10 hits for St. Louis, 2 runs on 7 hits for Cincinnati. Lackey finished strong, 10 strikeouts. Garcia, the home run, a big hit in this game. Cabrera homered for the Reds.
Great job by Lackey tonight. Showed his veteran leadership.
So the light rain has become a little less light.
Yeah, it's as hard as we've seen all day.
Light to moderate, would you say?
I say, let's get a home run.
J.J. Hoover, our Chevy call to the bullpen.
He's been their vulture this year. Now, last year he lost 10 ball games. This year he's got off to had a 7-game winning streak. He's 7-1. He had that streak broken his last time out. He's allowed a homer in 3 straight games for the first time in his career.
Popped up left side. Trying to find it through the rain, and he dropped it. When's the last time you saw that?
Oh, it happens.
Well, we'll see how they score this one, Al.
It's an error. He's 6. He's looking up. He does a tough thing, but then he has the misfortune. It lands right in the middle of his glove. Forgot to squeeze it. Run, Johnny. Run. You never know. You never know, Johnny.
And on that note, here comes the grounds crew. As the rain gets a little harder, the grounds crew scurries to the tarp down the right field line, and they go to work. They've done that a couple of times today. They did it during batting practice and before.
And about the time they get the tarp out there, the rain will slow down.
And Suarez is saying, I wish you'd have done that about 5 seconds earlier. Well, Louis will have a rain delay here at Great American Ballpark. 2-2 is our score. Pat Paris will take it out of the break in our studio.